take a picture of the trees. All these people out here I don't even know, so therefore I'm just going to do trees. Okay, this is supposed to be Garden of the Gods, they call it. And hope we got the right date here. Moving real slow. Seen a bus down there somewhere a while ago. More mountains.
Well, good afternoon, folks. My name is Jim, and if things go just right, I'll be your driver until about 3 o'clock today. By golly, I think we've had a nice start to a summer day here in Manitou. This is actually very typical of the summer times around here. Well, folks, I've been driving this old trolley now for a few years. I really enjoy the job and hope to get over my shyness one of these days. But one thing I always find kind of amazing when you think about it, it is amazing that you folks are willing to ride on board an old vehicle with wooden seats, with a driver you don't know who has the only seat belt, and you're even willing to pay good money to ride. Now, isn't that kind of amazing when you think about it? Actually, though, I know that most people are on vacation. I do the same thing when I am on vacation. I kind of throw caution to the wind. Well, folks, I hope you have some fun on the ride here, and I'll try to show you a lot of nice things around the area. And the first one, now look out the right side of the trolley, Pikes Peak. Just to the right of it, though, you can see Mount Manitou, where the big scar is on the mountainside. Springs here, and decided this would be a great place for a health resort. So they started the Manitou Springs Health Spa. Advertised in newspapers back east, and people began to come here in the summer. Many large hotels were built. At one time, we had 26. A great place to stop for a lot of free information about food, lodging, all the attractions, is the Chamber of Commerce there to the right. Dr. Bell went ahead and founded the town in 1876 and named it Manitou Springs. He and his wife lived in the beautiful building on the right, known as Briarhurst Manor. That was built in the 1880s. Now it's a 5-star restaurant. Many weddings take place there. Back in June, my son got married at the Briarhurst. I'm just glad I wasn't the father of the bride. Over the years, many interesting people have come to Manitou Springs. One of the favorites is Emma Crawford. Emma came here in the 1800s. She was in her late 20s and suffering from some kind of illness. Of course, she wanted to get better. Emma set a goal to reach the top of Red Mountain. That's the closest hillside to the front left of the trolley. Sure enough, after being here a while, her health improved and she made it. When she came down, she told her fiancé that she'd like to be buried there someday. Sadly, Emma's health failed and she passed away just a few days before her wedding date. Her fiancé and friends carried her up and buried her on top of Red Mountain. Well, wouldn't you know, a few years later, a severe thunderstorm came through the area. The rain uncovered Emma's coffin and she slid down that hillside back into town. So we celebrate that great event here every year in October with the Emma Crawford Fest. And the highlight of the fest, Manitou Avenue downtown is closed for a few hours, and young ladies dressed as Emma ride in coffins on wheels. We have the Emma Crawford Memorial Coffin. That was a gambling club, and also there's a large dance floor suspended on springs. Memorial Park is to the left, and look at the big pencil in the ground. Also the large gnome by the trees, and further down a little tree house. Those dead cottonwood trees were turned to sculpture instead of being cut down. So now anytime a tree dies in a place, the dead tree. The springs are what made us famous. I'll show you folks some of the springs. The first one is over to the right, 7-minute spring. Now just to the right of the gazebo, you'll see what's called a font where the water's coming out. When that was first discovered, about every 7 minutes the water would start to run, but nowadays it runs almost all the time. Last year the font was inside the gazebo, but the water insisted on coming up out of the ground elsewhere, so we had to move the font to accommodate the spring. The other great thing, look at the beautiful sculptures on the pedestals. In May every year, artists submit their works before a committee, and the ones selected go on display for 1 year. That way every year we have a complete new set, not only in that park, but throughout the entire downtown area. The town hall is to the right. That was built in 1920. Also a dance club called Lorraine Garden. Right next to that is our own Manitou Springs Police Department, bed and breakfast, no reservations required. Coming up on the right. That building also housed the first hydroelectric plant. Upon discovery that it would only power about 3 streetlights, it went out of business. As we enter the historic district in Manitou, ahead of the trolley, this appears like it did at the turn of the century. Most of these buildings were here at that time, including the Wheeler Bank, the 3-story building on the left, built in 1888. Jerome Wheeler was a great benefactor, helped the city grow and prosper. A lot of great shops, eating places, and art galleries are downtown. Mr. Wheeler gave a nice gift to the town. Look at the beautiful town clock over here to the left in the small park. That was dedicated in 1891, restored in 1991. It works, keeps good time. One of the places that all youngsters enjoy, and also a lot of young at heart, is the Manitou Arcade area coming up on the left. They have everything from penny arcade machines, nickel pinball machines, all the way up to the latest video games. The Manitou Arcade. Beautiful cliff house. Started back in the 1870s, that grew to 165 rooms. In 1982, a terrible fire almost destroyed the building, and it sat vacant until last year. Now being restored and scheduled to reopen every 5 or 6 hours. It's allowed to drain out all the time, that way there's always water available. Slightly carbonated, that makes great lemonade. All of the springs here are cold water natural springs. They come from different sources, have different minerals, therefore each one has its own unique taste. And all of them are safe to drink from. Mr. Wheeler had his own private bowling alley and shooting gallery in the Red Rock building over to the right was his carriage house. Back in the early 1900s, there's even a few bottles on board the Titanic. The old plant also went under though and hasn't done well over the years. Right now it's being renovated and we hope to have a new restaurant and brew pub by the end of the year. There it is to the right. Our most popular spring, also coming on the right, Ute Chief Spring. Now if any of you folks would like to try some spring water, you're welcome to step off right here and take a taste from the spring. We'll wait here a minute or two if you want to try that out. Now we're a year-round town. The full-time population here is about 4,500, including 300 artists. Old Mountain Music Fest in Soda Springs Park, there to the left.
Ruxton Avenue.
Ruxton Avenue will take us up to the Cog Railway Depot. A lot of great small shops along Ruxton. Paramount Castle. The castle was built in the 1890s. 9 different styles of architecture, 28 rooms. It belongs to the local historical society, and it's open every day except Monday. Top of the peak, and also one of the current diesel passenger trains. Now that old engine would push the passenger cars up the mountain, then back down. And notice how it's built on a slant. That kept the firebox level, and also made it a lot more comfortable for the engineer and fireman. Behind that brick building. Now look up the side of the hill a little ways, you'll see a split rail fence going back and forth amongst the shrubs and boulders. In fact, someone's walking up there at the moment. That's called Bar Trail, 12 miles to the top, including a 7,500-foot climb. And if you'd like to try that out and you get tired about halfway up, you could spend the night at Bar Camp, take your own. They ran up Ruxton Avenue, up Bar Trail to the top, and back down to the bottom of Ruxton. The winner did that in about 3.5 hours. And if you're not up to the marathon, come the day before for the one-way race. Last year, 1,500 people, including an 86-year-old man, and he made it from Town Hall to the distance. By the way, that's for sale. The asking price. Actually, I think those salamanders have been drinking from Iron Spring. You'll find that they're mighty stiff. The goddess of hygiene. Motives. On the horizon, there are 3 large groups of rock. Look at the one over on the left-hand side near the top center. You can see a hole. That's called the Kissing Camels. To the right of the hole, there's a large camel kneeling down, kissing the one on the left. Now, the other one is a little hard to see in the rain, but I'll point it out to you. Look over on the right-hand side of those 3 groups at the large rock. On the right, near the top, the sleeping Indian's laying on his back. His head's over to the right side, face looking straight up to the sky. To the left of his chin, you can see a hand on his chest. And further left, his feet are higher than the rest of his body. That would be a little easier.
That's what I keep saying. It's like,
I want to get that thunder.
Here we are at a roadside park heading toward Denver. Looked like it had snowed, but as I look, it's sleet, and it's about 56 degrees out here. It's been pouring down rain. Beautiful tree. Jerry. Okay, here we are leaving Idaho Springs, heading toward Eureka. We're driving, of course, so this is why it looks like we're moving.
Might get these signs as we pass.
Signs. I can't read them. I seen a sign that said 70 back there. I wonder what that says.
Okay.
This is a tunnel we're going through. Man, is it long? How many miles?
Probably about a mile long.
I see daylight on the other side. Okay, see daylight. We'll shut it off for now. We're going down a steep hill right now.
Look at that ramp. Show the picture of that ramp over here.
I did. I am. I'm on it. This is the runaway truck ramp for
You can see where
trucks.
some of them went up there.
Yeah. The way we're going here, we may have to hit it. On the other side, the trucks were struggling to get up the hill. This is about 10 miles of this here. All downhill. There's one truck. My ears are stopping up, or I'm stopping one, whatever. Pretty cloud in the sky today. And there's like a little town down there below, I can't really see. Around another curve. And the mountains in the background. Aren't they pretty? We're going to Durango, and we probably got about 5 or 6 hours to go. Probably one of the longest days that we'll be driving.
Shot picture over here.
Huh?
Horses.
Oh, horses. Okay, horses.
Happy to get that.
And this is pretty down here in the bottom. And then the trees on the left. This is a nice day today. And we've had 2 days of rain in Central City. Probably sunshine in there today. put music in with this one. Get the picture of the crack. Picture of the crack in the rock. Let her get a little shot of that.
Get a picture of that bear.
Huh?
Straight ahead. And then take a picture of the sign.
Oh, here we go. Here's a picture of the sign. We got to go to Grand Junction, and then we got to go on to Durango. See the snow on the mountaintops. It's really pretty.
You're gonna run out today.
Got the Bumpy Road. Got that. Took a few pictures here of these houses. Oh, and more. I think they're, some of these are houses. They must be a richer bunch of people. Here we are in Mesa Verde.
I do marketing for a computer company.
Oh.
So, no, this is a total breakaway.
This is some of the dwellings.
And pastel is the worst of them.
Is it?
I feel like
The
I've got no
Indians
control over it.
would
You can't have their kind of
live
thing
in.
like, water strong.
I'm better with crayons than paint.
Oh, yeah. Crayons are kind of like pastel. That'd be an easy switch, I think, from crayons to.
See, I see Jerry down there
And you can't get no more
with
parts. No
a
more
blue
parts.
shirt on, and he's looking this way. Oh, I got a picture of
Yeah,
him.
my mom keeps telling me she has part-timers.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
I like
better.
that.
Yeah,
Looks like he's taking a picture of you
because
too.
only part of the time it doesn't work.
When you need it.
Yeah.
Back up here. Nothing by there in the blue shirt. The one.
Cedar tabs.
Oh, okay. Is it longer?
No.
Hi, are you out of breath?
Coming back already?
Silverton, so we can run back to Durango on the train. And the bus drivers just said that some of the Indians lived up here in these mountains. So I thought I'd come see here. This is some of the tall mountains going to Silverton. See if we can get to come in a little bit clearer. Lost him out. Here's some more mountains. We've stopped at a can here. And let's see, go a little bit more.
Well, bed and breakfast is somebody's house.
Oh, well, shoot, if I'm going to go there, I'm going to stay in a hotel. I'm not going to stay in someone's house.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Now, I'll see if you do any practice. Let's go.
Oh my, that's the ball game.
Well, it's the 1:24 in the afternoon here. As I'm sure you can see, we're going to check out this tape, see if it flickers. I don't see any flickering or blinking.
Just keep going. Seems like it's about every 5 seconds or something. Dad's there. There's the car.
Oh, I didn't see that part. Go back a little bit. Let's see how that looks.
That's the morning we went to Humperdinkers.
Yeah, I don't think I remember.
Oh, remember taking that squirrel up there, Jerry?
Yep.
I think it'd be fun. We all go to Vegas.
Yeah.
Or Laughlin.
There's the.
Dad's there.
That's where the battery goes out. On that other tape, battery went out. The one.
Here's the,
No, on the one at Las Colinas.
oh,
Didn't charge the battery before it brought it back. There's Shirley doing her nails.
I'm always messing.
Did he do any flickering?
No?
That weird?
Yeah. I don't see it flicker yet. Sure it wasn't your glasses? Did you see it flicker?
I didn't use it though.
I don't understand it.
I like easy things to use.
I know what it did. The picture would pause. The picture would pause. And then it'd pick up.
It would pause?
Yeah, the picture would pause. But it never did show up when you viewed it.
It would pause like this, stop for a second. Kind of like your
Yeah.
DSS
The picture would, yeah, would pause.
when there's
And
clouds
come
or something
back
in
on.
front of it. You've seen that happen before, I guess, right?
Huh?
The picture just freeze?
Yeah. Just, I mean, less than a tenth of a second, you know, real short.
Well, I bet.
What are you doing here? You gonna?
Evidently, I didn't take any pictures on that one. I'll have to take this one out.
Yeah, that's still good after that one section, it looks like. You know what I'd like to get sometime is a movie projector. Maybe that, or maybe borrow Dad's sometime. Look at those films. Maybe even set this thing up and, you know, like we did that one time. Record those.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. Record it on the tape.
Yeah.
Is it not done it?
No?
You know, the only thing I can figure out, maybe the tape didn't engage just real good,
Mm-hmm.
or the humidity.
Might have been that. The humidity.
Yeah. Maybe the humidity has something to do with it.
Huh. No, but it seems to be working okay. Do you want to play it back in that one?
Huh?
You want to play this tape back in that? What we recorded here?
No.
To see how it works?
Yeah, well, we can later.
See, you're rewinding that, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
That little rewind thing. Yeah.
Oh, if it's gonna do it, it's done it right when you cut it on after about 3 or 4 seconds. Oh, it stopped. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Look at the old cars.
Now, what is this?
Have you seen that?
I don't think so. It's 1995.
Well, that. I guess I need to reset the date on this city camera. This is what I recorded. Oh, about a month and a half ago, we went out to Mother's,
Uh-huh.
and we're gonna look at their slides and video it with their camera.
Oh.
It's all right. No, it's good. Now, what about? That's all right.
Doris can't never look at anything unless every dish in the house is done.
Doris, when she sat down on the couch, it bumped the legs on the tripod.
Uh-huh.
No, I had it arrested somewhere. Anyway, it moved off. That's really sure.
Bill, you've changed too, haven't you?
I'm gonna go ahead and pause this one.
Okay, this will be what I